inspection. You will agree with me that there are so many people, especially in the diaspora, who wants to subscribe to a development plan or probably purchase a house or rent a house for a loved one in Nigeria. However, they cannot trust the authenticity of this property, and because they are far away, there's no how they can really bridge that gap. Fine Nigerian Property is here to bridge that gap for you through our live inspection services, where you can subscribe to, and we would make that easy for you. And this is just to mention a few among so many things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board to change the narrative within the real estate space in Nigeria. So the vision of Fine Nigerian Properties is to redefine property access through technology by connecting people with verified, credible real estate options. We simplify decision making, we strengthen trust with transparent information, and deliver a seamless digital experience that transforms how individuals and organizations, discover and secure property. And our mission is also to become Africa's most trusted PropTech platform for real estate opportunities, championing transparency, credibility, and seamless access to verified real estate for living, working, or development, starting from Nigeria. So visit FineNigerianProperties.com today to meet all your property needs. Thank you. Hello, my name is Olamide Onasami, and I am the CEO of FineNigerianProperties.com, also known as FNP. FineNigerianProperties.com is a self-regulated PropTech platform transforming how Nigerians buy, sell, and subscribe to real estate opportunities. FNP is built on transparency and innovation, and by that I mean FNP connects verified developers, realtors, house seekers, within a secure digital marketplace. I understand that there are so many PropTech companies, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. But why Fine Nigerian Properties? We are here because over time in the industry, we have discovered the pain points of property investors, people who would like to invest in properties within the shores of Nigeria. And one of it is not being able to verify the kind of developers that are building such properties. And that's why we have what we call managed development offerings on Fine Nigerian Properties. For managed development offerings, it's a platform where developers who want to develop a particular project, they come list on our platform, and then we push it out to prospective subscribers who would like to invest in properties in Nigeria. And this is the catch. So as a subscriber, you are not going to be remitting money to the developer. We as a management development company are going to be housing your fund through the collaboration that we have already instituted with a finance house, right, to ensure that the developer is executing the project as planned and utilizing the fund as agreed in the contract. Right? So that is one of the things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board. In addition, we have a service called live inspection. You will agree with me that there are so many people, especially in the diaspora, who wants to subscribe to a development plan or probably purchase a house or rent a house for a loved one in Nigeria. However, they cannot trust the authenticity of this property, and because they are far away, there's no how they can really bridge that gap. Fine Nigerian Property is here to bridge that gap for you through our live inspection services, where you can subscribe to, and we would make that easy for you. And this is, just to mention a few among so many things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board to change the narrative within the real estate space in Nigeria. So the vision of Fine Nigerian Properties is to redefine property access through technology by connecting people with verified, credible real estate options. We simplify decision making, we strengthen trust with transparent information, and deliver a seamless digital experience that transforms how individuals and organizations, discover and secure property. And our mission is also to become Africa's most trusted PropTech platform for real estate opportunities, championing transparency, credibility, and seamless access to verified real estate for living, working, or development, starting from Nigeria. So visit FineNigerianProperties.com today to meet all your property needs. Thank you. Hello, my name is Olamide Onosami, and I am the CEO of FineNigerianProperties.com. Also known as FNP. FineNigerianProperties.com is a self-regulated PropTech platform transforming how Nigerians buy, sell, and subscribe to real estate opportunities. FNP is built on transparency and innovation, and by that I mean FNP connects verified developers, realtors, house seekers, within a secure digital marketplace. I understand that there are so many PropTech companies, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. But why Fine Nigerian Properties? We are here because over time in the industry, we have discovered the pain points of property investors, people who would like to invest in properties within the shores of Nigeria. And one of it is not being able to verify the kind of developers that are building such properties. And that's why we have what we call managed development offerings on Fine Nigerian Properties. For managed development offerings, it's a platform where developers who want to develop a particular project, they come list on our platform, and then we push it out to prospective subscribers who would like to invest in properties in Nigeria. And this is the catch. So as a subscriber, you are not going to be remitting money to the developer. We as a management development company are going to be housing your fund through the collaboration that we have already instituted with a finance house, right? To ensure that the developer is executing the project as planned and utilizing the fund as agreed in the contract. Right? So that is one of the things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board. In addition, we have a service called live inspection. You will agree with me that there are so many people, especially in the diaspora, who wants to subscribe to a development plan or probably purchase a house or rent a house for a loved one in Nigeria. However, they cannot trust the authenticity of this property, and because they are far away, there's no how they can really bridge that gap. Fine Nigerian Property is here to bridge that gap for you through our live inspection services, where you can subscribe to, and we would make that easy for you. And this is just to mention a few among so many things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board to change the narrative within the real estate space in Nigeria. So the vision of Fine Nigerian Properties is to redefine property access through technology by connecting people with verified, credible real estate options. We simplify decision making, we strengthen trust with transparent information, and deliver a seamless digital experience that transforms how individuals and organizations, discover and secure property. And our mission is also to become Africa's most trusted PropTech platform for real estate opportunities, championing transparency, credibility, and to verified real estate for living, working, or development, starting from Nigeria. So visit finednigerianproperties.com today to meet all your property needs. Thank you. Hello, my name is Olamide Onosami, and I am the CEO of finednigerianproperties.com, also known as FNP, finednigerianproperties.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to this very special edition, and we're focusing on a basic need in Nigeria. So reports have it that Nigeria's housing units has a deficit of about between 22 million to 29 million, 28, depending on who's talking. And we know that accommodation housing is a major factor if anybody would live right. Now, over the years, there's been several attempts by the government, by individuals, to ensure that Nigerians have housing on the one hand, affordable housing on another hand, and standard housing on another hand. There are so many ingredients all tied into this, but at the end of the day, there's a huge deficit of housing in Nigeria, and as usual, Lagos, which is the commercial capital, bears the biggest burden of all of that. That's why we're here today. That's why Find Nigeria Property is putting this together to see, perhaps you have the idea that has been missing in the link, or perhaps you have not heard about some of the solutions that they have proposed. So we'll be doing that on this program in about 2 hours or less. We'll take you around the world of properties and what Find Nigeria Property has discovered as solutions that could be of very good information to you. I'm Ini John Mekwa, and I'll be leading you through this conversation. But first, let's meet our hosts.
Is a self-regulated PropTech platform transforming how Nigerians buy, sell, and subscribe to real estate opportunities. FNP is built on transparency and innovation, and by that I mean FNP connects verified developers, realtors, house seekers, within a secure digital marketplace. I understand that there are so many PropTech companies, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. But why Find Nigerian Properties? We are here because over time, in the industry, we have discovered the pain points of property investors, people who would like to invest in properties within the shores of Nigeria. And one of it is not being able to verify the kind of developers that are building such properties. And that's why we have what we call managed development offerings on Find Nigerian Properties. For managed development offerings, it's a platform where developers who want to develop a particular project, they come list on our platform, and then we push it out to prospective subscribers who would like to invest in properties in Nigeria. And this is the catch. So as a subscriber, you are not going to be remitting money to the developer. We as a management development company, are going to be housing your fund through the collaboration that we have already instituted with a finance house, right, to ensure that the developer is executing the project as planned and utilizing the fund as agreed in the contract. Right? So that is one of the things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board. In addition, we have a service called live inspection. You will agree with me that there are so many people, especially in the diaspora, who wants to subscribe to a development plan or probably purchase a house or rent a house for a loved one in Nigeria. However, they cannot trust the authenticity of this property, and because they are far away, there's no how they can really bridge that gap. Fine Nigerian Property is here to bridge that gap for you through our live inspection services, where you can subscribe to, and we would make that easy for you. And this is, just to mention a few among so many things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board to change the narrative within the real estate space in Nigeria. So the vision of Fine Nigerian Properties is to redefine property access through technology by connecting people with verified, credible real estate options. We simplify decision making, we strengthen trust with transparent information, and deliver a seamless digital experience that transforms how individuals and organizations, discover and secure property. And our mission is also to become Africa's most trusted PropTech platform for real estate opportunities, championing transparency, credibility, and seamless access to verified real estate for living, working, or development, starting from Nigeria. So visit FineNigerianProperties.com today to meet all your property needs. Thank you.
NigeriaProperties.com. It seems they offer services that will bridge the gap that you have been afraid or have been scaring you from getting into the real estate sector. Investment for residents, for business as an investment. Guess what? It's the launch of FindNigeriaProperties.com. That means that site is now live and available to you to ask your questions. And now all of those worries that you had, I must add that Find Nigeria's property is taking on a lot of burden. When you look at the real estate sector in Nigeria and all the stories you've heard, sometimes even connected to the government. These days you have a lot of protest after the rerouting of the Lagos-Calabar coastal road. That affected some investors. So in a situation like that, guess what? Fine Nigeria Properties has the burden to ensure that your investment is protected. That means that some of your worries, your concerns about getting into the real estate sector, you have the NigeriaProperties.com. That's the official site, and it's open from today. Congratulations to both the investors and the invested in the real estate sector. But first, let's take this further. Of course, we need an authority, a regulator, to give the assurance that investors need if this is for real. So we have from Lagos State, the Lagos State Real Estate Regulator, Lazara, a director, is right here in the studio to give us some assurance in case you still have that uncertainty. We know that property business in Nigeria is a very sensitive one. I know, right? We've had a lot of stories from supposedly big names in the industry. So now we have Lazara here, a representative of Lazara, and that's Mrs. Akimbola Temitope. She's the director. She's a director at Lazara, to tell us what they know about Fine Nigeria Properties and what assurance you can get in dealing with this new company.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is, as has been said, Temitope Akimbola, Director, Monitoring and Compliance, Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Now, I'm going to be giving the keynote address on behalf of the Special Advisor on Housing to the Lagos State Governor, Barrister Barakat Odunuga Bakare. Now, this is a keynote address on rebuilding trust and credibility in Nigeria real estate sector by the Special Advisor to Lagos State Government, Barrister Barakat Odunuga Bakare, SA Housing. As its keynote speaker at the official launch of FindNigeriaProperties.com, a product of Fresh Spring Property Development Company Limited, held at Freeman Space on Thursday, 4th December 2025. Distinguished guests, industry stakeholders, partners in the housing ecosystem, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to join you today for the official launch of FindNigeriaProperties.com, a truly innovative PropTech platform positioned to reshape the landscape of real estate transactions in Nigeria. I commend the vision behind this initiative and the commitment to addressing persistent challenges that have long hindered the growth, transparency, and integrity of our real estate sector. The theme of today's event, Rebuilding Trust and Credibility in the Nigerian real estate sector, is both timely and essential. Trust is the currency of any thriving property market. Credibility is its foundation. When these two pillars are weak, the entire ecosystem suffers. That's the developers, the investors, the home seekers, the agents, the regulators, and the government alike. The current reality. Nigeria's real estate sector remains one of the most promising on the continent, yet it continues to grapple with issues that undermine confidence, such as, number one, opaque processes, number two, fraudulent listings, number three, unregulated practitioners, number four, inconsistent data, number five, land title uncertainties, number six, market fragmentation, number seven, limited adoption of digital infrastructure, and so on. These challenges persist, not because the sector lacks potential, but because the ecosystem has not always evolved at the same pace as national needs or global best practices. Platforms like FindNigeriaProperties.com are emerging at a crucial moment, and this is when public demand for transparency, verified information, and secure transactions is at an all-time high. Critical regulatory perspectives. As a government, we recognize that effective regulation does not stifle innovation. Rather, it nurtures it. Regulation must be firm, must be fair, and must be forward-looking. In Lagos State, efforts have been intensified to sanitize the market through mandatory registration of real estate practitioners. Number two, to strengthen compliance and enforcement to reduce fraud and unethical behavior. Number three, to enhance digital monitoring of real estate transactions. Number four, to improve land administration procedures for greater transparency and quicker processing. Number five, to engage stakeholders continuously to refine regulatory frameworks in line with emerging realities. A credible real estate environment cannot be achieved without strong regulatory institutions, consistent enforcement, and ethical professionalism across the value chains. Ongoing reforms. Reforms within this sector, both at the state and national levels, are geared toward rebuilding confidence by modernizing land tightening processes, by promoting alternative housing finance models, by improving building control standards, by strengthening the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, LASRERA, by expanding digital platforms for property verification, and by supporting PropTech innovations that provide solutions to long-standing industry gaps. These reforms are not merely bureaucratic adjustments, they are building blocks for a future where every property transaction is secure, predictable, and trustworthy. Collaborative pathways for a stronger sector. Rebuilding trust is not the job of the government alone. It requires shared responsibility, shared values, and shared vision as listed below. Number one, government-private sector collaboration. We must encourage transparent partnerships between regulators, PropTech platforms, developers, agents, financiers, and professional bodies. Number two, technology as a catalyst. .com offer an opportunity to simplify processes, provide verified listings, reduce fraud, empower buyers, and create real-time data for decision-making. Number three, ethical standards and professionalism. Practitioners must commit to integrity. No innovation can thrive where ethics are compromised. Consumer education. Well-informed property buyers make better decisions, prevent fraud, and strengthen accountability in the market. Number five, data-driven growth. Trust is built through transparency, and transparency is powered by data. A digitized, data-rich sector is a credible sector. The significance of findnigeriaproperties.com. Today's launch is more than the unveiling of a platform. It is the unveiling of a solution-oriented movement. FindNigeriaProperties.com is a premier PropTech platform. It is designed to address one major pain point at a time. It is built to enhance safety and confidence in property transactions. It is structured to give users verified, reliable listings, and it is positioned to bridge the trust gap between stakeholders. This is the type of innovation Nigeria needs. That is platforms that don't just identify challenges, but actively solve them through technology, professionalism, and collaboration. In conclusion, as we look ahead, the mandate before us is clear. We must commit to creating a real estate environment that is transparent, data-driven, well-regulated, and globally competitive. Let's today mark a renewed commitment to trust, a renewed commitment to credibility, and a renewed commitment to building a real estate sector worthy of the confidence of Nigerians and international investors alike. I congratulate the team behind FindNigeriaProperties.com and assure you of the government's willingness to collaborate in ways that promote innovation, safeguard the public, and drive sustainable growth together. Let us build a future where Nigerians can dream of owning a home and trust the system that will help them achieve that dream. Thank you, and congratulations once again for a greater Lagos. Barrister Barakat Odunuga Bakari, Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on Housing, Lagos State Government. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Akimbola, for that well-delivered speech. And some of the high points of that speech obviously talked about the need for collaboration between the public and the private. And good enough, we're hearing from the government, giving that assurance that they are ready to work with the private sector, to win credibility. And one of the things Ms. Akimbola said there was the issue of trust. Trust is the currency in any business. If there's no trust, then there cannot be business. Which investor would want to put their funds, where there's no trust? Obviously, there's none that would want to do that. So, getting that assurance from the government and the regulator, talking about the real estate regulator, in Lagos State. I believe that should give some kind of assurance. And once again, I need to emphasize this is taking a lot of burden off the shoulder of a lot of investors. What FindNigeriaProperties.com is promising is to take away a huge burden from the shoulders of investors and bear it by themselves. We're going to have a panel conversation to dissect some of those issues raised, talking about credibility and building that trust, getting investors to come into the real estate sector. And other than that, everybody needs a home. Everybody needs to live somewhere, So we do hope that we can get to the bottom of that and try to win somehow. So let me invite the panelists who will be here with me. I'll be having the chairman of Redden, that's in Lagos. He's also the chief executive officer of Vista Holdings Limited. Dr. Tony Aspire Kolawole. He would be here on the panel. I believe he's coming in right now. Can we have Dr. Kolawole? Please do have your seat here. Dr. Kolawole, can you have your seat here? Thank you. Thank you, and you're welcome. And then also we'll have the Chief Executive Officer of Grand Nova Realty. That's Daniel Olufowoshe. Mr. Olufowoshe, please do have your seat. And we did have the representative of Barrister Barakat, who gave us her thoughts and message from the SA and head of Lazrera. So now, gentlemen, welcome to this special launch, bringing solution to some concerns in the real estate. Now, when we look at the topic, rebuilding trust and credibility, the representative of the SA had said, trust is the currency that we need. That means there was trust before, and we lost it. You are the chairman of Redden in Lagos. How did we lose this trust? How can we get it back? Your microphone is right there. Thank you so much. Let me help you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Finding Nigeria Properties, right? For we at Redden, it is what we'll be working at when we see what is going on in the real estate sector. We notice that we have so many developers that make our people to lose trust in them. They promise and they don't deliver, most of them. So that's why we are making right the wrongs that most of the developers have done. So what we do is that we checkmate most of what they do, and we also act as whistleblower also. When we see you develop, we're talking about collapse building, a client pay for a property, and at the end of the day, that property is being built, then we now see that those properties are collapsing. So we just have to be even like a whistleblower in this industry to make sure that what you are building is right. If it's not right, we report to the appropriate authority. So we, real estate developers, Association of Nigeria, we also are pleading with the government. It is concerning demolition now. It is not when a client has built and you are now going to demolish it after the person has built the house. What are the processes involved? Why are you not going through when those people start building, when they are doing their foundation? You have to mark it and make sure that they are not building the houses. So government to have their own fault too in all those things. So it affects trust from our clients in diaspora, our clients in Nigeria. They will look at this house, if I buy it at the end of the day, they will finally demolish it. So we are telling people out there that we still have some developers too that are also doing the right thing. So they should go on and look for and there are some checks that they should go to.
What are the checks?
So one of those checks is for a developer that you want to work with, you have to know what the person have done previously.
How do you know? Is it a website? Do you go to the government? Do they come to your association?
In Nigeria, actually, even some developers that are not that are supposed to be the real people, they have a very good website. It's not about just the website. It's not about you going even to. I know Lazrera, they will say that you should come if the developer are not part of it. There are some that that register with last era, that at the end of the day, they are doing the wrong thing also. So what I will say is, there are several ways. This person, look at his past project. You want to see what they've done. And you can confirm. Like we, in my company now, Tributal Real Estate, we've done some projects in the past. And now we are not bringing another property. You will say you want to see what they've done. Then you want to even meet some of the clients. You will see them because people are living in those houses. Ask them about, can I buy property from these people or not? Then, what are the licenses that they got? Like the building permit and every other thing. Before they started building, most of those people build, they don't even have the licenses to build. Some of them go through the back door to bribe people, to bribe government, as in quotes.
Bribe government again. Let me come to Mr. Olufowoṣe. So it sounds like this deficit of trust is not just between the developers and the clients. It is also connected to the government. So who will solve this problem for us?
Well, just like he rightly mentioned, the problem starts from, okay, a developer wants to build a property, right? He bought a land. He visits the government and says, okay, I bought this land, I want to develop. This is my plan, this is everything, this is the title document, you're running search. And government says, okay, fine, we'll give you a governor's consent, we'll give you approval and everything. And then after 20, 30 years, they're coming back to say, we want to demolish. So that's the major issue. Now, I think another thing you look at is change of government. Policies before and policies after. What were the policies before? What were the regulations? What was the requirement for building? Are they being consistent all through before and after? And also, we know that developers on their part, it's true that even if you have a governor's consent, a CFO, a registered date of assignment, you may still have issues with the government because of, there's one factor called purpose of land purchase. Every land is allocated for a reason. There are some that are residential, pure residential. There are some that are pure commercial. And there are even some that are farmlands. A farmland can have a governor's consent and CFO, but it's not for building houses. So by the time you now say, okay, I have all the documents, you now place a property there, then you should know that you're sitting on a keg of gunpowder. So those are the issues that we need to consider, and everything is in check. Thank you.
Right, so Tony, in spite of all of this, there are obviously a lot of opportunities for investments, for residents, and all of that. Could you highlight some of those? Because if we have a deficit of more than 20 million units of housing, obviously there are so many opportunities in the midst of all of that.
Okay, the opportunities I see, when you talk about Nigeria, the opportunities that we have in Nigeria is we have the population, the vibrant population, and we now have a lot of deficit. That means that in every situation, in every problem that we find ourselves in, there is still opportunity for investors to make wealth from this. So what I notice government doing now, they are doing an allocation to developer where you buy and the rest. But in the midst of this, I'm still pleading with government. You know, these are what our people want. Those properties that we are getting from them, they should major more on infrastructure. The infrastructure to those sites that they are giving to developers to buy from them and the rest. This infrastructure, they help development, they help even the wealth that you make from those properties. Imagine, I'm buying from you as the government. We are getting from property from you. We are paid the amount that is required for us to get this property from the government. They call them allocation. Inside this demand notice that they give you, we have what they call the infrastructural levy, which you have already paid to them. But do you know that at the end of the day, there will not be development to those sites? Most of those sites don't have development that leads to them. That means that the developer have to now come and do the development again. That means that you are paying twice, right? So at the end of the day, it's affecting the client, the people buying, because me, I'm selling to you. I will put all those money so at the end of the day, property that you're supposed to get, maybe like a landed property where you want to build your bungalow, you want to build your terraces on, you are getting that property for maybe just a plot of land for like 30 million. That property is not supposed to be more than maybe like 10 million or like 12 million that you should get.
But because of the infrastructure,
but because of the infrastructure deficit that we have is affecting. So there are vast opportunity, but we are still playing. Because government are the major stakeholders. Then we are in partnership with them, in collaboration with them. So there are a lot of opportunities in real estate, in Lagos especially, in Ogun State, in Ibadan. These areas are where we have the large population. So our people from diaspora, we still have developers that still do the right thing. So I don't want to protest that again, because it's not everybody that is bad. It's not all developers that are bad. There are some good developers. So we have to look into it. These are opportunities. Check for those good developers. There's something I wrote here about to know how to know a genuine developer. One, I say, your due diligence checklist should be the property that they want to buy. You have to verify the title of that property. The approvers, if they have the approvers, then delivery track record, which I've said before, then did the company have like a corporate governance? All these are very, very important. If you are dealing with a woman.
But how do you confirm these things? You talked about the document, and those documentation, mostly you're supposed to get them from the government. Now, when you head to Alausa, for instance, and you want to get a confirmation to those documents, the reality is that you will settle from table to table, and you may not get to the end of it.
You will get it if you use the right source.
What's the right source?
So what we do in our company, we have our own property lawyer that we use. So when we get a property, we do all the due diligence, like the title that they claim it as. We'll go to the site and also take what they call coordinate. You don't just believe that this property have the title and you just say it has this title. You go to the site, confirm if that title that they say that property have, it's realized. Then take those coordinates, map it with what you have on the survey and every other thing that they gave you. Take it back to Alausa and you do your search on it and you get it. But something happened, and I asked. There's a property that we bought. Thank God the SA representative was here. There's a property we got there. This property, I would say they really do pause on this. We got this property. It has a CFO on it. At the end of the day, the CFO, we went to Alausa, it was confirmed on the screen. It was confirmed on the search that it had the CFO. You know, after some months, the CFO was not there. So at the end of the day, we lost money.
So who's to blame now? You're going back to the government, which is the source. It's scary. You can't even trust the source of the government.
So we are actually pleading with the government to make everything seamless for us.
Okay. Let me ask Mr. Olufowoshey, because it sounds like these are some of the issues that Fine Nigeria Properties, these are some of the gaps they want to plug, which is why I keep saying it's a huge burden they want to take on themselves. You know, can this responsibility be lightened? Because if you go and confirm the status of a property with the government and you still have issues, are we going to confirm from God?
Okay. Just like as I mentioned, there are policies, that have been placed down by the government in respect to what a developer should do before purchasing a property. But when we now have a change of government, are those policies consistent? That's one thing that's one point I mentioned previously. But however, at the end of the day, just like as I mentioned, there are right sources, there are right channels. It just depends on the persons you're using in the Alausa and all of that. And if you, for example, if you want to apply for a passport, they'll tell you, oh, fast track, pay this amount. If you don't want fast track, if you want to take 6 months, you pay this amount. It happens across all forms of government. So that's the same thing. If you have your your cash and you want to fast track, you know who to go and meet, and then you get your document. But however, you ensure that, for example, your governor's consent, your file number is out, your bidding plan approval, your plan, what's it called, the permit number is out. Once you have your permit number and your file number, then you are okay. No, but the number cannot change. Your number is your identity, the identity of your property. So you are safe. So that's just it.
All right, so we're discussing this now. That means that we have the possibility of solutions ahead. Well, since we're on this strap, and then we have, Fine Nigeria Properties also presenting a platform that could help alleviate some of this uncertainty. What trend do you see in the real estate sector, in the coming years in the country?
Okay, I will first start with one of the major trends that's actually going on right now is the purchase of properties where there is no development. For example, Ibejuleki. As much as it looks like as if everybody knows about development there, there's a lot of people that don't know, that are not aware about development there. For the fact that Lagos State is interested, likes of Dangote, they're interested, that place is not to be overlooked. Now, another thing that is also a potential in Lagos market is, just as you mentioned, the Nigerian market has the advantage of population. And if you look at population, for example, as at 1970, we had 1.7 million Lagosians. Now, in 2025, we have 22 million, which means that we have 25% rate of increase every 5 years. Now, that simply means that there's going to be demand of properties. And what is actually the cause of this population increase? Migration rate, growth rate, and then infrastructural development. Look at the Lagos, the coastal road, for example. It has yielded a lot of properties along that side, and demand is increasing. Now, looking at the population, in terms of demography, which demography will have the highest demand in the nearest future? The youth. Now, I remember when I was in university those days, when I got into 100 level, I cannot dare tell my dad that I want to own my property. I want to own the property for myself. Where will I get the money? Would he even give me the permission? But right now, Gen Zs are not sleeping, I did an inspection 2-3 weeks ago, and I saw a young guy, I think 20-25, wants to buy a property. So basically, I think that there's going to be more demand for even rental income so as well. A lot of people right now in the market, in the Lekki corridor, there is deficit of rental property as I speak to you right now. I have clients that are on the queue looking for rental apartments to rent, and there is none.
And that's why the price will keep increasing.
Exactly. So basically, developers should focus on building 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom smart mini homes at a very, very massive rate. If they can do that, investors will come in, they'll buy multiple rates, they'll rent them out, and they'll take care of housing deficits in the country.
And since you're a developer, I guess you will start.
Of course.
All right, thank you so much, Daniel Lufowoshe, the Chief Executive Officer of Grand Nova Realty, and Dr. Tony Aspire Kolawole, the Chairman of Red and Lagos, also the Chief Executive Officer of Vista Holdings Limited. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your views. Let's take a break. Just hold on, gentlemen. Don't be in a hurry to leave me alone here. Let's take a break, a short one, and then we'll be back with another panel conversation. Please stay with us.
On finenigerianproperties.com, you need to log into your account. When you get to your dashboard, you click on My Properties. Then you are able to create a listing for either rent, sales, outlet, or a land. So I'll go ahead to create a listing for rent by clicking Create a Listing for Rent. You'll see this form. You need to fill in the details as accurately as possible. After filling the details, you confirm that everything is accurately filled, right? Then you have the option of either promoting this listing to weekly deals, and then you also have the option of stating whether this listing is available for live inspection if your potential buyers can request for a live inspection, which will be carried out by um, Fine Nigerian Properties. So I'll go ahead to click on next. Then yes, I need to provide a brief of the property and also attach the picture of the property. When you are done providing the additional information and uploading pictures of the property, click on next and you see a summary of your listing here. Then you click submit. This property has been listed and it is pending our admin approval. When it is approved, you'll get a notification in your email, and then the status here is going to change from pending to available. Thank you very much. See you on Fine.
You're welcome back. It's still the launch of FindNigeriaProperties.com, a solution that comes your way, taking away those uncertainties that you've had when you think about getting on board the real estate sector, either for investment or just for ownership in Nigeria. And FindNigeriaProperties.com say they will address those concerns for you. We're going to have another panel conversation now, and the focus there will be de-risking real estate transactions in Nigeria. Of course, from our first conversation, the risks are there when it comes to documentation, when it comes to change of government. Rerouting of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road is one major one that a lot of investors are still feeling the pinch even up till now, especially those in diaspora. And talking of diaspora, a member of the panel for this conversation is joining us from Houston, Texas of the United States. We have Victor Lofimaki. Mr. Lofimaki, welcome to this conversation.
Hello, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Great, good to have you. And then also we have right here in the studio, joining us will be Ned Nwanwoke. He's the managing partner of Crown Juries. Can I have Mr. Ukanwoke? And then also it will be Mrs. Olamide Onosami. She's the Chief Executive Officer of Fresh Spring Property Development Company. Mr. Onosami, I must say you have a lot of questions to answer because you tell us that we saw your video. You say you have a lot of answers to our concerns. So I hope you're ready for us.
Yeah, I am. Good afternoon.
All right, great. I'm still waiting for Mr. Okanwoke, the managing partner at Crown Juries. Hope we can have him real soon. Let me start from Victor. Victor, from what you hear, how juicy is the real estate sector in Nigeria?
What is juicy?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of demand for this in Nigeria is to invest and where to put their money. And Nigeria is a very robust market. It's a growing market, a lot of demand internationally for either private business industries. Obviously, one of the things we need to tackle about Nigerian real estate is the lack of trust and transparency and credibility, and just what to basically have to predict what's going to happen with your property. But overall, Nigerian market is very juicy, like you said. A lot of people want to invest in it. We have a lot of clients in the U.S. that are constantly looking to invest in the Nigerian market. And hopefully, with FindNigerianProperties.com, we can solve some of these issues.
So what are those pain points you've heard from conversations of those around you and all?
Well, I mean, generally, they're the usual ones that we all know, right? So things like the, credibility, things like the title issues. Generally, right now, most people just have, if they want to buy property, they go to their friends, their family, or someone, and say, hey, can you help them with this? And then 2 years later, their money is gone. Or they buy a property from a developer, put down 30%, 40% down payments, and then 3 years down the line, 4 years, property is not delivered, right? So there's several issues that most people in diaspora face. That initially they go into it, and then after a few years they get discouraged from the investment. So hopefully get that resolved My goal is we can come to some solutions from this panel to see how we can help diasporans, encourage them more to invest in Nigerian markets, and also encourage them to have a positive result with their investments.
All right, Victor, so we don't get too discouraged. Have you heard of any good story, successful purchase and investment in the Nigerian real estate sector?
Absolutely. There's been some, definitely some good news. One of the beautiful things about the Nigerian market is that the ROI is very high, right? So the appreciation is very high because of the demand. So when things go very well, most of our clients are very pleased, right? They're very pleased that they bought a property and it's done very well. Also, with the current, over the past, 6 months or to a year, the Naira has been very stable. And that's one of the issues people have is even though they're making higher returns, when they convert it back to dollars, the returns has been whittled. So now with the stability of the currency, the high appreciation rates, so this is a very good positive news, and that's why we want to come to Nigeria. So when these things work out very well, it's a very positive thing for the investments.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to balance it out, so we're not just talking about the bad news. Thank you, Victor, for doing that for us. Well, we've now been joined by Mr. Ukanwoke, the managing partner, Crown Juries, Mr. Ned. So, a lot of these things people say could have been talking about the fraudulent and the losses could have been prevented if there was enough attention given to documentation. What are some of those loopholes that you think investors, would-be investors in the real estate sector should look out for in order to avoid some of these risks?
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. I believe that one of the issues will be what we consider as sufficient documentation. Typically, what you have is either there is no title and people pass off the property as having a title, or people's perception of what a proper title is defective. I'll give you an example. In the market, there's this popular title called excision, which is where government excises land out of the compulsory acquisition it made earlier and returns it, say, to a community. So parties would typically deal with that as a very authentic title, and it is. However, what excision is has now changed over the years. Instead of being a land that the title and the coordinates have been published on the government gazette, now the application to the government to grant an excision is now considered excision in the open market. And a lot of people in diaspora actually buy titles based on this. Once they see application made to the Land Use and Allocation Committee of the Lands Bureau, they believe,
they don't know if the application will be approved, it will go through or not.
They don't. However, until it's gazetted, there's no title. So that's just, just one. And quite a number of these areas as well, government has already allocated projects there. And so after collecting money from people, even the people promoting it do not know. Maybe in some instances they do know, but sometimes they don't know. If you walk around, you see a lot of billboards for estates and all that. I have a client who asked us to do some due diligence because she wanted to buy some property close to the Pan-African University. And we said the government has an estate planned there. It was an LSDPC estate, and it's been planned since 2007. And there's a popular signboard there advertising estates, asking people if you buy one, you get 20 free, So, of course, there was a lot of pushback. Many people had bought into it. But today, LSDPC has taken possession of the place and are developing the estate.
So due diligence it is?
Yes, due diligence. But beyond the issue of even the CFO, the excision, what are the planning permits required? What is the place zoned for? Is there a project the government has planned for that area? So things like that.
Mr. Nosom, it seems like you are going to have your hands full because from the conversations I've had, a lot of Nigerians do not have full knowledge of what they ought to look out for. Right. And even when they do not know where to get the information. And it sounds like FindNigeriaProperties.com is offering to bridge that gap. That means you have a lot of work to do.
Thank you very much. Exactly, yes, we do have a lot of work to do, and I must say that's why we call ourselves your credibility partner, right? Um, I mean, from my little years of experience in real estate, I've discovered that authenticity is one of the major pain points of real estate investors. A lot of people, I mean, a friend of mine subscribed to a real estate property in 2021, and this is 2025. She doesn't have anything yet. As at 2021, she paid, I think it was 190 million. So imagine if she had invested the money in something else as at 2021, it would have grown, a big deal. But there's no house, there's no land, promises here and there. And I'm not even sure she can win any case in the court, really, because
She doesn't have documents and all that.
she has documents, but the documents eventually we found out are not carrying anything. It's not just like, Barrister Ned said. There are a lot of people that just give documents, and investors don't do the extra work. And the extra work doesn't entail just asking maybe a government staff to help you check at Alausa or check with any of those regulatory bodies. It requires you speaking to a knowledgeable, lawyer that is into real estate, into land, that can, guide you and direct you aright, right? And that's one of the reasons why FindNigerianProperties.com is coming up to bridge that gap, right? We want to ensure that our customers, our clients, both within Nigerian shore and globally, they are served, professionally, and they enjoy credibility. Yeah.
So if you dig deeper into it, this issue of due diligence, you would see that costs is a discouraging factor. So if you're giving these services, a lot of people also consider, so how much extra do I need to prepare for, to get this certainty that I'm looking for?
All right, thank you very much. Well, everything has a cost, right? But we are a platform that is definitely collaborating with regulatory bodies. We are collaborating with regulatory bodies, like the chairman of Redan was here, the representation of the head of Lasrera was here. So our plan, right, is to collaborate, which we have started. It's no longer a plan, right? We are collaborating with these bodies so that it can be a smooth flow for our clients. And I mean, it's not at so much a cost compared to what they will lose. For instance, if you come to FindNigerianProperties.com, you would not see any property that is not compliance with regulations. Like, there's something that is so common these days. Is the agent asking for 20% commission, or a landlord asking for 2-year rent? You're not going to see something like that on FindNigerianProperties.com. If government says 5% for rent, I read recently that a bill was passed in Lagos State that for rentals, it's 5% on agency. And I mean, if that is implemented on Find Nigerian Properties, it is implemented. So if the law says you cannot collect more than a year rent, don't bring a 2-year rent requirements to Find Nigerian Properties. So those are the measures we are putting in place.
But in a situation where demand is more than supply, at least from the last conversation, that means some people want to overlook some of those laws. How do you handle that so that you are not losing out as a company from the markets?
Okay. Do you mean the customers?
Yes. So if you are strictly following the rules and then the owners of the property refuse to use your platform because you say, well, you have to stick to the 5% which the government say, at the end of the day, don't you need to find a balance?
Yeah, so I would say this, that every business owner would go to where the customers are. So if the customers see that we are ensuring that every property that is on our own platform would benefit them to the end that we are complying with government regulation, they would come to our platform. And that would force the landowners, the landlords, the developers to come to our platform, because that is where the customers will be. Everybody wants, credible property. Everybody wants, recently this year we've heard a lot of demolishing happening, especially within this Lekki terrain. I heard some also happened on the mainland, right? Everybody wants to be safe. So the customers are coming to us. That means the developers and the landlords would come to us.
Okay, sounds interesting. Barrister, so for an individual or a corporate that wants to get on board the real estate sector, what documents should one look out for? And at what stage should you engage, a company like Fine Nigeria, if you have your property and you want to deal with documentation and you don't want, all of those bad news at the end?
If you have the property or if you want to acquire the property, because there are two different scenarios.
Yeah, just handle both for us, because
Okay.
a lot of people are watching and they're in
Yes.
different baskets.
So if you desire to acquire a property, something that Lamide said, the thing is that if you think that the cost of good service is expensive, imagine the cost of incompetence. She gave an example, 190 million naira gone. So we need to change our orientation about paying for professional service. That's the first thing. Once you change your mind about paying for professional service, while it does not take care of people who collect a lot of money up front and don't do the work, at least it puts you in the bracket of being able to sit down with a company like Lamide Zone and have a discussion about what you're really looking for. And you'll be assured that you're going to get good service. Is it access to good lawyers, access to good practitioners, access to regulatory authorities that would find out what the planning permits for that area is? People have built houses, residential houses, only to discover, like one of the earlier panelists said, was on farmland. So what do you do? So these are some of the things that you need to clear up front. So when you have access to a good practitioner, you'll be able to be guided. What title do you need? What planning permits you need to have in place? The estate that is being developed, does it comply with the current estate requirements in Lagos State? Not after 2, 3, 4, 5, even 5 years, then you see the name of your estate published in the papers that is due for demolishing because it does not have an approved layout from the planning parastatal. So if you're already in one you already own a property, the earlier you even step up, the better. You still go back to those professionals to find out what the status of your land is and what you need, to do in order to regularize, if it's possible, to regularize your position.
I like the part you said, if you think that paying for a professional service is expensive, try the cost of ignorance at the end of the day. Let me come to Victor. Victor, what would Nigerians in diaspora like to see here in order to boost their confidence in the Nigerian real estate sector?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I really like what the barrister and Olamide are saying about the cost of actually doing this kind of business. Because, believe it or not, in the United States, most of this transparency, most of this verification, most of this that actually work well is from the private sector, not from the government sector, right? And people pay a cost for verification in every transaction that we do. It's already built in. Customers do not question it. And there's already a system created by the private sector to ensure that if you go to a company like this, you can be assured of proper documentation. Secondly is radical transparency, right? People should be able to give weekly updates, photos, videos, live inspections of their properties as the build is going along. And then obviously a proper document verification. Finally, I think we should also need to get away from verbal contracts and family relatives helping us with things. We need to have more written contracts, receipts, document timelines, and those kind of things.
Mr. Nosami, I think he hit on some point I would love to talk to you about, maybe on the next segment, the virtual tour of sites, the legal documentation, agreements, aptly captured in document. But I believe we're going to have a session, you and I, after this, so we can delve into all of that. But I need to thank you so much, Barrister, for being a part of this. Barrister Ned Ukanwoke. Did I get it right?
Yeah, a bit.
Please, what's the correct one?
Yeah, Ukanwoke, but
Ukanwoke.
the nuances of pronunciation.
I
of
know,
course,
right? Forgive me.
That's fine.
So, Barrister Ned Ukanwoke, the managing partner, Crown Juries, thank you so much. And Mr. Nosami, we'll see you in a bit. That's after this break. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Welcome to Nigerian Properties. If you want to sign up on nigerianproperties.com, this is to do that. You come to our what and they complete your account verification.
Hello, my name is Olamide Onosami, and I am the CEO of FineNigerianProperties.com. Sami, and I am the CEO of FineNigerianProperties.com. Also known as FNP. FineNigerianProperties.com is FNP. FineNigerianProperties.com is a self-regulated PropTech platform transforming how Nigerians buy, sell, and subscribe to real estate opportunities. FMP is built on transparency and innovation, and by that I mean FMP connects verified developers, realtors, house seekers, within a secure digital marketplace. I understand that there are so many PropTech companies, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. But why Fine Nigerian Properties? We are here because we, over time, in the industry, we have discovered the pain points of property investors, people who would like to invest in properties within the shores of Nigeria. And one of it is not being able to verify the kind of developers that are building such properties. And that's why we have what we call managed development offerings on fine Nigerian properties. For managed development offerings, it's a platform where developers who want to develop a particular project, they come list on our platform, and then we push it out to prospective subscribers who would like to invest in properties in Nigeria. And this is the catch. So as a subscriber, you are not going to be remitting money to the developer. We as a management development company are going to be housing your fund through the collaboration that we have already instituted with a finance house, right, to ensure that the developer is executing the project as planned and utilizing the fund as agreed in the contract. Right? So that is one of the things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board. In addition, we have a service called live inspection. You will agree with me that there are so many people, especially in the diaspora, who wants to subscribe to a development plan or probably purchase a house or rent a house for a loved one in Nigeria. However, they cannot trust the authenticity of this property, and because they are far away, there's no how they can really bridge that gap. Fine Nigerian Property is here to bridge that gap for you through our live inspection services, where you can subscribe to, and we would make that easy for you. And this is just to mention a few among so many things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board to change the narrative within the real estate space in Nigeria. So the vision of Fine Nigerian Properties is to redefine property access through technology by connecting people with verified, credible real estate options. We simplify decision making, we strengthen trust with transparent information, and deliver a seamless digital experience that transforms how individuals and organizations, discover and secure property. And our mission is also to become Africa's most trusted PropTech platform for real estate opportunities, championing transparency, credibility, and seamless access to verified real estate for living, working, or development, starting from Nigeria. So visit FineNigerianProperties.com today to meet all your property needs. Thank you.
With the vision of that credibility partner, the promise that they're giving to you via FineNigeriaProperties.com. The Chief Executive Officer is right here. She's still here, I should say. Ms. Onosami, good to still have you here.
Thank you.
So I've been saying from the beginning of this show that you're making a lot of promises. What's giving you this confidence, that you can operate and be the credible partner to investors in the real estate sector in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, Ini. Like I said earlier, being in the industry for some years, I have experienced a lot of people go through a lot that ought not to be. You shouldn't have your money like your hard-earned money. You put it into something that you hope to become something big in the nearest future, and all of a sudden, it just goes south, right? And that's one of the reasons why, we came up as a team that it is time that we change the narrative in this industry. I understand that we are coming up against a lot, but we trust God, and we trust Nigerian system to support us to change this narrative.
Yeah, we really need to change the narrative. And as you said, you're going to be coming against a whole lot, including government, because we've seen governments do 360 turnaround in some properties. And so the burden now comes back to you if you want to be this credible partner to tell your clients that, yes, we can handle it even in this situation, and you're even dealing with the government. As I said before, if we have a reversal from the government, I guess you mentioned God, so we just go to God for it.
mean, sincerely, to be fair on the government, yeah, we cannot take away the place of good heads and bad heads. It's everywhere, whether government, private, we're everywhere, right? But the truth is, there are still some there are some right ways to go about these things, right? I mean, there was a client of mine that reached out to me early this year, and it was like, Olamide, you know, somebody told me about this property somewhere close to the Novara Mall. It's a huge land that I'm thinking about getting it. What do you think? And I said, okay, can you ask the person to please send the documents of the land? Because I mean, the amounts they were calling, I feel
Too
it's
good to be true.
It's too ridiculous. It's just too ridiculous. I went there, the place is fine. And I said, okay, just send what you have. And he sent it to me, and I sent it to, you know, somebody in Alausa that deals with that I know is credible. And immediately she gave me a response. She said, Olamide, tell your clients not to go ahead. I mean, this is a land worth hundreds of millions. And they want to sell it for, I cannot even mention, right? And she said something. She said, it's not like this land is bad, but it's for the government. That they might not use it now, but maybe in another 20, 30 years, they would come for it. Because in the plan, it's meant for recreational, you know, centers and all that. And some people just have it, they say, and they have all sorts of documents. They have survey. You'll be shocked that they have survey for that land, right? So I mean, like Barrister Ned said, one of the things that we intend to do is to go through the right channel. Trust me, there are still right channels in Nigeria.
I trust you. So, I mean, Victor, who is in diaspora, talked about virtual touring of sites. How do you handle such?
Okay, so that's to address a pain point that speaks to especially people in the diaspora that wants to buy property here. You know, there was a day I went to a developer's office, and when we got there was chaos. Somebody came all the way from UK to create a scene. He said he subscribed, I think 70 million or something. They've been sending him pictures, fake pictures. By the time he got to Nigeria and he went there, it's just a bare land. They've been sending him pictures of structures, right? So that's one of the bridge, you know, that's one of the gaps we want to bridge, right? We are going to be offering live virtual services where a client can just subscribe to, and then we would go to do the inspection for you, and we'll give you a feedback. Tell you everything you need to know about that property. Things that even your relatives might not tell you because maybe they want a cut from the commission. That is the truth. Even relatives, you cannot really vouch for your relatives when it comes to getting real estate in Nigeria.
Because of cuts.
Because everybody wants cuts.
That's so unfortunate. Yeah, we've heard so many stories. I think the other time there was a video of a young lady who came back from abroad, and the brother she had been sending money to the brother, and then she was almost running mad. You know, so I mean, thank God for Fine Nigeria Properties,
Yeah.
so, working to bridge this
That's
gap.
one of the things that we intend to do. We want to ensure that, I mean, our main goal is to ensure that credibility and trust is restored back in the real estate. Real estate industry has a huge, you know, opportunity in Nigeria, and not just Nigeria, Africa and globally, right? But without trust and credibility, people would not want to invest. I mean, like my friend's story that I told you about, she told me, I don't think I want to come back to this country. That was her last transaction. And she wanted to, you know, invest. She was even thinking of, she's been away for so many years. She was even thinking of, you know, maybe settling back sometime. She was like, no, because money, she can't find. Paper,
Property, nothing.
Yeah.
That's sad. But what other products do you offer?
Okay, so we have a lot, but for time, I'm just going to mention a few ones. There's something we call MDOs, called Managed Development Offerings. For our MDOs, let's say you are in the diaspora, you want to subscribe to an off plan, because the truth is a lot of people in diaspora, they are the ones that subscribe to off plans. People in Nigeria buy. They buy. In Nigeria, Nigerians in Nigeria buy.
We got the money.
So, I mean, it's the people in the diaspora that a lot of them subscribe, they too buy, right? But a lot of them subscribe to off plans, project, fractional ownerships, and all that. So, one of the things we do through the MDO platform is to ensure that developers can list their projects that we would verify end to end, and then when a subscriber wants to subscribe, you are not going to be remitting money to the developer. There's something we call an escrow account. We have collaboration with a finance house that is going to be housing the funds, and then we would be disbursing money to the developer based on needs. If you say you are going to finish first phase in 4 months, we disburse money to you, to your vendors, and we would also be monitoring the progress. If you are not done with that phase, you don't have the right to call for another fund. Because one thing we've discovered is you see developers using the money for something else. You collect money from these clients, and then you go use it to buy land and start selling land and all that. So that's one of the things that MDO is going to ensure that we bring on board. Another thing is we have something on the platform called deals, right? So for developers or landlords that just want their properties to go very fast, right? They can list it on the deals on the platform where the clients don't need to pay agency fee. Like, I'm a developer, I don't really need agency fee. It's realtors that are always bothered about agency fee. So this property, I want it to go. You can put it on deals, and then you as a renter or house seeker, you can check deals. Maybe you don't want to pay agency fee, you can check deals, and then you can have that. That is just to mention few among so many other things that FineNigerianProperties.com would be offering.
All right. So where is the bond between Fine Nigeria Properties and client, or would be at what point do I have that commitment, and then what's the clause that lawyers always use in case everything doesn't work out as planned, the exit clause, I think that's what they call it, and some of those consequences. At what point do we have that conversation?
Okay, so at this point, I even need to mention something, that the truth of the matter is it's not every time that the developers, the landlords are the only ones on the wrong. Sometimes even clients. When you say that you are going to pay for your property in 6 months, and you pay for 2 months, and then the third month you are defaulting. So it's actually everywhere, like it's the two ways, right? So, but speaking to the contracts, yes, we have the process in place. Our legal team have put that together such that there's a contract for every project, right? That both the developer is signing to, and the subscriber, who has the clients, are also signing to. And if there's any form of default, right? If there's any form of default, we are going to take it up from there. There are going to be repercussions for defaulters. Yeah.
All right. We certainly wish you the best. And once again, congratulations on your launch.
Thank you.
And we're waiting to see you change the landscape in Nigeria's real estate.
Thank you, Hene.
All right. Okay, so now let's take a short video from Stephen Ojo. More information for us.
NigerianProperties.com. You need to log into your account. When you get to your dashboard, click on My Properties. Then you are able to create a listing for either rent, sales, shortlet, or a land. So I'll go ahead to create a listing for rent by clicking Create a Listing for Rent. you'll see this form. You need to fill in the details as accurately as possible. After filling the details, you confirm that everything is accurately filled, right? Then you have the option of either promoting this listing to weekly deals, and then you also have the option of stating whether this listing is available for live inspection if your potential buyers can request for a live inspection, which will be carried out by Fine Nigerian Properties. So I'll go ahead to click on next. Then yes, I need to provide a brief of the property and also attach the picture of the property. When you are done providing the additional information and uploading pictures of the property, click on next, and you see a summary of your listing here. Then you click submit. This property has been listed and it is pending our admin approval. When it is approved, you'll get a notification in your email, and the status here is going to change from pending to available. Thank you very much. On Fine Nigeria.
It's still the official launch of FineNigeriaProperties.com, and a lot of information has been given. If you missed it, you can go to the website as you just saw, and you get a lot of information how they want to bridge the gap when it comes to your investments, securing your investment in the real estate sector in Nigeria. Now we have the project manager, Mr. Emmanuel Nosomi, to give us more insight into it, and also appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much, Ini, for introducing me. My name is Emmanuel Nasami once again, and I'm privileged to be the project manager. Let me introduce myself very officially. I'm currently the lead partner at Cardinal Professional Services, where we offer, consulting support to our clients. And FineNigerianProperties.com happen to be one of the clients where we worked with very closely, to deliver this project. I would say a bit about, how we come about, delivering this project and the product to the market, so you can have deeper insight and also do some call to action this morning, or this afternoon already, this afternoon. So very quickly, when we took on the project Fine Nigerian Properties, the first thing that we did was to conduct a survey. And in that survey, some staggering, statistic came to light. And what we did in that survey is to collate the pain points of different stakeholders, in the real estate industry, starting from the realtors, the developers, the buyers, the renters, and the landlord, the property owner, including you and myself, that you're listening to me this, afternoon. And we collated that, and something came out from that data, speaking to the fact that the lack of trust and credibility, is largely responsible for more than 40% of the funding gap that we have within the real estate sector. In simple terms, it means that, the reason why that high-rise did not go up beside your house is because the person holding the fund is a bit skeptical that if he gives out this fund, will the building go up, and that gives us the central, theme for this project, and that's why Fine Nigerian Properties has been positioned to be your credibility partner. And not just looking at it from the perspective of these buyers, renters alone. And I believe realtors are asking questions, why should I be on Fine Nigerian Properties? And developers are asking questions, why should I be on Fine Nigerian Properties? And my assignment this moment is to quickly bring you into an understanding of why you should be typing that URL now and onboarding based on the screens that you've seen in the past, showing you how to onboard. And let me quickly speak to the different stakeholders that can benefit and also get opportunity, from Fine Nigerian Properties. The first is definitely our realtors. Looking at yourself as a realtor, one of the things that you can be sure is that, you have access to market your listings for free, unlimited, on finenigerianproperties.com. There are other platforms there that you have to pay money and do this and all that, but you have opportunity to come on our platform today, register, and then get your listings for free. But we only ask for one commitment from you, which is the commitment to remain within the professional code and make sure that all your listings are in line with the provision of the law. Also, you are able to get, faster deal cycle and conversion rate because, we have a clear marketing route to market approach that speaks to opportunities in the diaspora. One of the things that keep the diaspora folks away from Nigerian property is the fact that they don't have the time to come and inspect the property. With our live inspection services, they can plug into it, get real reports, and also even be part of the live inspection exercise in such a manner that, you can quickly get closer conversion. Also, you can apply to be part of our, partner realtor program, where you also have opportunity to earn some passive income. I believe as you continue to engage our platform, you get more information on that. And also continuous professional training for realtors so that we can all be on the same page when it comes to the professional ethos that is expected from you. So if you are a realtor listening to me now, I want you to take action and scan that QR code so you can, join the conversation right away. I'll quickly move to the next block of stakeholders that we have carefully curated and addressed some of your pain points, through our products. And what are we offering developers? Developers have opportunities, to now focus on development. I think that is your name, you should not be bothered by the burden of trying to market whatever you want to develop or trying to manage subscribers. We are taking that burden, away from you at Fine Nigerian Properties. And then also when it comes to that reliability of funding, we already have collaboration with, financial institutions where they are able to even close some gaps, minimally where subscribers are not meeting up with obligations on the contract, fully collateralized by the delivery of the development. So you don't have to be exposed to, unnecessary, finance costs on your development. And also, you have us manage, the development where you want us to manage, your development for you for marketing and sales. Fine Nigerian Properties also give you that opportunity. Our collaboration partners, Finance House, also give you access to have MREF listed on some of your listings. So if you're a developer, I believe the QR code, will come up and for you to join the conversation, or you can just simply go straight to nigerianproperties.com and then register as a developer on the platform. For landlords, property owners, you just want to manage your property yourself. You don't want a lot of ceremony around it. You can just up on Fine Nigerian Properties, register. You can either elect to manage your property yourself or appoint a property manager on our platform to do that on your behalf. And for our everyday, buyer renters out there, and what distinguishes Fine Nigerian Properties away from, every other platform is that your pain points are being addressed on this platform. You can find properties where you won't have to pay agency on Fine Nigerian Properties. You can request live inspection if you are too busy to do that. And there's so much more for you to gain. You can also subscribe for managed development offering where you are almost guaranteed 100% the delivery of your product based on the model and the structure that we have put in place. And, let's get the conversation going. We have come saying it mildly to destruct, the environment. And I believe you will also work with us, every other stakeholders. I'm super glad that we have Lasrera being part of the conversation. We have Redan being part of the conversation. And these are key stakeholders to make sure that we make the real estate environment in Nigeria more friendly for investors and more rewarding for everybody. Thank you. Over to you, Hine.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Nosami. And I'm also glad that we have Lasrera in the conversation. And there you have some mouth-watering deals that Fine Nigeria Properties has prepared for you. So you may want to hop on some of those deals and maximize it. So once again, I would like to say congratulations to FineNigeriaProperties.com on this official launch. And of course, the hope is that as they get on board the real estate sector in Nigeria, as they have promised, they would disrupt the negative trend and give us more confidence and certainty in that sector. And that's it for this official launch. We do appreciate your time, and we hope that better than just being here with us for the launch, you will get on that website, which is FineNigeriaProperties.com, and see the deals and the programs and the plans and the promises that they have for you, and that will push you to get deeper into the real estate sector in Nigeria. John Mekwa, thank you so much for your time.
Hello, my name is Olamide Onosami, and I am the CEO of FineNigerianProperties.com, also known as FNP. FineNigerianProperties.com is a self-regulated PropTech platform transforming how Nigerians buy, sell, and subscribe to real estate opportunities. FNP is built on transparency and innovation, and by that I mean FNP connects verified developers, realtors, house seekers, within a secure digital marketplace. I understand that there are so many PropTech companies, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. But why Fine Nigerian Properties? We are here because we, over time, in the industry, we have discovered the pain points of property investors, people who would like to invest in properties within the shores of Nigeria. And one of it is not being able to verify the kind of developers that are building such properties. And that's why we have what we call managed development offerings on Fine Nigerian Properties. For managed development offerings, it's a platform where developers who want to develop a particular project, they come list on our platform, and then we push it out to prospective subscribers who would like to invest in properties in Nigeria. And this is the catch. So as a subscriber, you are not going to be remitting money to the developer. We as a management development company are going to be housing your fund through the collaboration that we have already instituted with a finance house, right? To ensure that the developer is executing the project as planned and utilizing the fund as agreed in the contract. Right? So that is one of the things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board. In addition, we have a service called live inspection. You will agree with me that there are so many people, especially in the diaspora, who wants to subscribe to a development plan or probably purchase a house or rent a house for a loved one in Nigeria. However, they cannot trust the authenticity of this property, and because they are far away, there's no how they can really bridge that gap. Fine Nigerian Property is here to bridge that gap for you through our live inspection services, where you can subscribe to, and we would make that easy for you. And this is, just to mention a few among so many things that Fine Nigerian Properties is bringing on board to change the narrative within the real estate space in Nigeria. So the vision of Fine Nigerian Properties is to redefine property access through technology by connecting people with verified, credible real estate option.